Sul Sul Seers, and welcome to SeeJamieSim. I'm Jamie, and today we are building our second home of our starter home challenge, which is in Oasis Springs. So we are starting out with a fairly simple design, kind of to go with the, everything going on around in Oasis Springs. I start making this pergola and I spend way too much money on it. First off, I did not realize that I'm dropping like 150, 200. Yeah, that was pretty bananas. So here I am, and I realize I've just spent over $5,000 just on this. So it's not too unlike real life. So I go back in and I delete some of the spaces so that we can, have some money back. Yeah. So there we are for that. And I realize I need to put some edges on it. And then I delete the wall because I forgot to put the edges on that part, and I annoy myself once again with my obvious oversights, but what can you do? What can you do, right? And yeah, so I actually really like how this porch turned out. It was a little big for the space. I do regret I don't regret how big I make it. I think it ends up looking really, really good. But for the space of the house, I think I made it too big. And I don't end up keeping these. I go simpler with it. Not necessarily cheaper, but definitely simpler. So here we are, just putting it up on a platform, and me trying to figure out how to put this up on here. I'm having trouble because I keep thinking I'm pressing Alt 9 and I'm pressing Alt 0. So I don't figure it out for the first little bit, and then I start to recognize that I am not doing things correctly. So it always helps to just leave it and then come back to it later, I think. So yeah. So I'm going to leave it for a little bit and then come back to it and realize how ridiculous I was being. And yeah, I'm not quite sure when I realize it. I'm watching this and I'm embarrassed for myself. Like, what the heck? Yeah. There's my little lantern guy releasing his lantern there. That was annoying for my pictures, but that's okay. He's having a little bit of fun. I'm putting in these windows mostly because they're cheap, but also because I really, really like these windows with the style of house I'm going to be building. And I put in a giant sliding glass window. When my grandfather lived in Palm Springs, he had a sliding glass door. He also had a regular door that led off of the house, but we only ever used the sliding glass door, so that's all I gave this house. Mostly because there wasn't a path in the back to be able to get around to the front. So I just didn't bother with it. Yeah, so I end up using kind of a plainer wood because I really didn't like the black. Yeah, there we go. I felt that kind of looked better, and yeah, I just liked it better. And here we are trying to fix up the, there we go. I really liked that. And here's where I realize that would be why. So I fill back in the rest of this super expensive porch. Yeah, I definitely spent a lot on the pergola, but what you gonna do? Sometimes it just needs it. Plus, it provides the shade that if you're living out in this climate that you need. Though how you get up there to water it, I mean, maybe you just spray it with the hose. I don't know. That would soak your whole, like, porch, though. So, no clue. No clue. So, here we are putting some of, yep, the little, just blending the whole house in with the backgrounds. And, you wouldn't really want, like, wood out here because it'll crack and whatnot. So I kind of make the executive decision that we won't be doing that. I try to be as realistic as possible with my builds and to think about the people that are going to be living in them. So that also means when I'm building houses, that the roofs that I'm thinking about are making sure that no rain will get caught anywhere, like in any pockets, and leave like stagnating anywhere. So you have to have a good angle for the rain to run off and whatnot. Excuse me. Yeah, just putting a little border around it, and now we actually get inside. And I realize as I'm building that I need to completely rearrange where I'm putting these rooms, because the sliding glass door is there, and that needs to be where everything is. So I turn this around several times where I'm trying to decide on where to put everything, and I realize that I've left myself no space for a kitchen living room area if I put the bathroom on the far side, which is where the bedroom would need to be. So here I go, building it again and deciding that this middle part is going to be the kitchen. So then the living room is bigger, and I can put kind of a dining space on the side where the kitchen is going to be. Now I'm placing down all of the furniture that I'm going to need in the house, which I was half doing it to what I wanted, and then half I wasn't, just to make sure I had something. Just because I just want to place some of it down so I don't run out of money before, of course, the virus protection popped up while I'm recording. So I kind of decide, where I'm going with it. And the kitchen was pretty easy to figure out. I also knew I needed a dining space and an office space for this house, because the person I picture living at this small little place is kind of a traveling, like, not salesman, but like travels a lot for work with whatever they do. And I give them top secret papers at the end, so I think that they are a spy. But so they travel a lot for work. And so the house is pretty much, not super personalized, but there are a few like band posters that get put up. So yeah, it kind of was like, okay, well, somebody definitely lives here because there's one coffee cup and some band posters. And then you have these top secret files, but there's not a lot to go on. being in this room, so I kind of decided they were a spy. A spy with all these windows and zero curtains. Like, you wouldn't be able to go anywhere in this house unless you, like, fully were dressed. And then here I am trying to decide on all of the stuff in here. So the one thing I really remember is that all of our houses in California had tile on the ground, all of them. So I keep with that vein of all of your floors and half of your walls needing to be completely scrubbed all the time. So here I am putting in a nice dining space, you know, just so that there's ways that you can move around in everywhere. And I end up keeping that bed in the bedroom. That is one of my favorites. Like, when I watch other YouTubers and Simmers specifically, when they're building in The Sims, it seems to be everybody's least favorite bed, but I love it so much. I use it all the time. It's in my Let's Play on Twitch. I have a Legacy Let's Play called The Atwood Legacy, and it's in that house, and I've done several builds where I've put it in there, so I love that bed. It's one of my favorites, but it might be because I like jewel tones. I'm not really one for like the pastels or anything, which I think kind of puts me in the minority of builders in The Sims. So, because I know Pastel Pop and all of those, even the Comfy Gamer and all of that kind of, you know, that's all kind of very, very popular, whereas like the jewel tones and the darker tones aren't necessarily what you go to first. But I think it works really well in the space, and just giving a little bit of separation between the kitchen and the rest of the house. So that's where I'm putting in those columns. And I always forget the bin, so put the bin in there. And here I am trying to remember which cabinets I put in so we can get matching ones. And thank goodness there was matching cabinets. Gotta like that. There we go. Only took me a minute to figure it out, right? So we are finishing the kitchen here, and I decide that I hate those doors that were in there before, so we're going further black forward and trying to figure out the layout of our bathroom. I think if I had to go back, I might have changed it to white tile, but really I don't remember seeing a lot of white tile at people's houses. It was mostly like the adobe houses with the kind of Spanish tile. So not to say that there's not, but just, you know, we lived in several houses in California, and all of them had the same tile no matter where in California we lived. In Southern California, rather. Northern California is more like wood focused. But yeah, so did the Dream Home Decorator lounges just to fill up a bit of the space, because I knew there wasn't going to be a lot of money left over because of the porch. And here I am trying to decide where to put this table, because I don't want to block the door, but I also don't want to put it right in the middle of the kitchen. And here I am trying to decide on, you know, what what plants I'm going to be putting there, and it's all the little choices that you make. And I do like the pampas grass, so I decide to switch out one of the tables for pampas grass and bring that a little bit closer to mauve. Not that that's a jewel tone, but is what it is. I don't use a lot of the base game rugs very often, but I am finding with these builds that I have to stick with things that are a little bit cheaper, so I get to kind of explore the base game a little bit more. And had to move that over so that the, Sims could get into their bedroom. And put a mirror there. And that's pretty much the bedroom done. And here's what I talked about, the band posters, like what we put in the bedroom. And here is where I discovered that this area is giant, and oh my gosh, why did I do that? So now I have to spend a good chunk of change making this bigger. Just so that there's some space taken up. And we're getting kind of to the point where there's no money left. And I still need to do some stuff on the outside, particularly there where I can put the border on there, because that somehow got deleted. So I was kind of just like, ugh, really? Can't seem to do anything there. That was a little frustrating. So there we are. And I know that I end up doing a little bit of I give myself a little bit more money that I can clutter and things with. So I decide to get another cabinet just because it looked kind of like ridiculous over there, without the, so we do that. And then I know we get the coffee mug. And if you guys like this challenge, it's our starter home challenge. So starter homes on the smallest lots of each of the worlds, and we build it for 20,000 simoleons. That's what you get with a single sim. So we did Willow Creek, and now this is our second installment of our starter home challenge. Doing a little bit of a tour there. And so we, just checking out the build here. And pretty simple. Most of them are going to be pretty simple, but I really enjoy figuring out how I'm going to spend the money and how big the houses are going to be. It's been a really, really fun challenge for me. You can see my other videos plus the builds in this series. I upload to YouTube every Tuesday and Thursday, so if you would give me a like, comment, or subscribe, it really keeps me going as a creator. And we have the Ultimate Decades Challenge happening over here, as well as our 100 Days of Cast Challenge and several shell challenges. I love doing those, so I do a lot of them regularly. If you're looking for just some gameplay, I stream every Wednesday from 9:30 to 1:30, every Friday 9:30 to 12:30, and then 5 to 8. I stream Saturday 5 to 8 and Sunday 2 to 5. So I do a lot of, play lots of Sims, do some crafts. I also do other kind of cozy games. Here we are doing debug for our outdoor stuff. I know it seems a little cheaty, but I had 0 simoleons, so we were desperate. And but yeah, so if you'd like to see any of that, if there's anything you'd like to see more of, be sure to comment, and I would be more than happy to add what you guys like or find you like. This is a little bit of a shorter build, but I'm trying to keep the starter homes around like 22 minutes to 25 minutes, just because it's easier to do that. And there's not a whole lot to the builds, whereas some of my bigger builds, they take, even speed building, it's close to an hour just for the time it takes. So these are kind of refreshing for me to do, and I hope you guys really enjoy them the way I do. There's me trying to make a piece of bread into a rock while I'm looking through debug. And here we are just trying to find what's correct for the space, which means a lot of spiky plants, rocks, and dried grasses, essentially. Yeah, I have to go back up to the top of the debug menu. And just put some grasses in. I know there's not a whole lot in this area of the world, but I like it. I'm looking around, and they have like some grasses, so I was like, you know what, I can do it. I can do this. I kind of like the way that looked. I didn't keep it, but I did like the way it looked. But yeah, so we are just putting rocks in, and I think that no build is really complete without having rocks in the gardens, no matter what biome you're building in. And here are my dried grasses, which I think lends a little bit of, tall vertical gardening, which we don't get a lot of in this particular place in the world. Yeah, just looking for some more cactus and rocks. So we'll get on with that. So anyway, I hope you guys stuck around for this end of the video. Again, like, comment, and subscribe really helps me out, and I really appreciate it. If there's anything else you'd like to see, just let me know, and I will be sure to catch you in the next one. You guys have a great day.